It's the only way that they're going to get us to agree to central bank digital currency. They will have to create a problem that would be so bad that the immediate reaction is, government, we need your help. We don't know what to do. You guys got to fix this. And then they say, we have the system for you. It's central bank digital currency. That's always been the plan from the beginning, but they have to get the people to accept it because they understand humanity so well that we have to create conditions to where they're going to be more accepting, more malleable to the type of new economy that we want to create. And that's why they're going to crash the system. That's the only way that people are going to be either begging for it or just willing to accept it. You know, like you said, when they crash the whole system, people are going to love the idea of getting $2,000 a month UBI because they were getting nothing.
And on top of that, they finna put a fucking chip in. The only way you're gonna get that $2,000 a month is if they shoot that goddamn chip in your fucking hand.
Yeah, they're gonna try all of it.
What's good, BlockNation? I'm Queen.
I'm D.
And I'm Maverick. Welcome to BlockNation. Yes, we are back with another episode. Make sure you guys text BlockNation to 26786 to get our text opt-in, to get updates when we go live, have merch, anything that we have going on. You get a text and hear from us first. Also, shopblocknation.com. Head on over to shopblocknation.com to get your BlockNation merch.
We got my guy Rick in here. I'm gonna go ahead, Rick. Go ahead and tell him.
Hey, I know what time it is, man. Crypto Rick Mims, making it make sense, man. Fired up for tonight's show, man. We got a lot of value to give to y'all.
So as promised, welcome to part 2 from the BRICS discussion. So we just really gonna go ahead and really get into it because it's been a lot of news coming out lately. So what we really want to talk about is this Tether situation, because this Tether situation is a big deal since the Evergrande situation happened, the bankruptcy situation happened. So, you know, I don't know if you guys saw it earlier, but basically USDT is suspended. Coinbase suspended USDT for Canadian users. They suspended DAI and RAI for trading for Canadian users. So how y'all feel about that? Because it's getting kind of serious now, man.
Oh, man.
That's going to bring it down, yo. That's going to bring stuff down. Like USDT, Tether. I mean, it's called Tether for a reason. It's tethered to all these different things, you know, the bond market and Bitcoin and all these other things. So if that go down, everything got to go down.
Yeah. Always use like testing markets like Australia or Canada as like testing markets first, then they do it in the US. So I don't know. That's a little scary.
Yeah, and anytime you see moves like this, these companies and institutions, they understand the dynamics and the layers to a situation better than the general masses. So they're making these moves strategically for a reason, because there's exposure and risk that people just aren't aware of, and there's movements that are made on a consistent basis. You know, today's news is not yesterday's news. You know what I mean? Like, so when you're looking at, you know, what's going on with Tether, and then we're trying to figure out, well, what is Tether backed by? And then, you know, what is Tether exposed to? And then, you know, what is the audit on Tether? And then, of course, you know, obviously with the Evergrande stuff, and then we're trying to figure out, well, this is a global interlocked economy. You know what I mean? This is literally a house of cards. This is literally a straight domino effect. One thing affects something else all the way on the other side of the world, because everybody is exposed to everybody's business or industry. So we have Evergrande here going down, and there are banks and firms and corporations in China that are exposed to Evergrande. And now these banks in China have systemic risk, and Tether might be backed by some of these corporate bonds that are being issued from these Chinese governments. And, you know, that's how you start to see this, you know, this cascading effect, just like we've seen in 2008, you know, where you have these financial institutions that create all kind of these, you know, these financial instruments, and all these sharing of these instruments, and you know, it's collateralized debt, and you know, so no, I agree. You know, this Tether goes down, it's going to bring down the whole market, and it's going to be one of the worst crashes ever.
This is a play to make USDC the standard.
Absolutely. I just feel like that was the whole plan. It just makes sense because this is gonna put Bitcoin on life support if Tether go down like that. So then, Tether goes down, we have no choice but to use USDC. So it makes sense to me.
So what the gangsters gonna do? The gangsters gonna snuff out competition. They're
Yep.
gonna take down the market, and then they gonna come in and be the supplier.
Yep.
And if they can't control blockchain per se, but the operation choke point, the ability for you to get into crypto, exit out of crypto, you know what I'm saying? What you're using as your stable medium assets, is that controlled? You know what I mean? So we have to really understand that this is warfare. You see what I'm saying?
Sure, but they've done a great job of already keeping people out of crypto and blockchain in general. Like I was just talking to somebody on Facebook earlier, and they are just like, they have their mindset on crypto is too volatile, and it's too many rug pulls, and it's used for money laundering. Like they've done a great job keeping people like out of crypto, or people lost money when that P word happened in 2020. They did a good job. They've done a great job. So when you talking about we dealing with some gangsters, man, we dealing with some smart ass gangsters. Like I'm talking about, they know the psychology of the human mind. Like they know how y'all operate.
Yeah, and they're always gonna hit you with, like you said, the money laundering and all that stuff. It's like, yo, regular money's already used for that. So what's the difference? You're using cash and other stuff for nefarious acts, but you're talking about, crypto can be used for money laundering and funding this and funding that. Well, you guys have been doing that for years. So what's the difference? You guys are using the US dollar for all kind of nefarious acts right now.
It's shakeout season. So only the strong will survive.
Absolutely.
Only the strong will survive. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's really, they mirroring the internet boom, the .com boom. They mirroring it. Like they shook people out real bad. They told people that the internet was a phase. They put it in, you got to think back then when the internet came out, people were reading the newspaper. That was a thing. So they put it right on the cover of the newspaper on the front page. It's a phase or it's a fad, whatever they said, but it shook people out. That's exactly what they're getting ready to do.
They was clowning emails and stuff.
They sure was, yo.
I don't know if y'all saw like that old clip from like, I think it was like Good Morning America or something, like back in the early 90s. They were like, so how does email work? Like, well, I can just write a letter. Like, what do we need email for? And all this other stuff. I'm like, wow, it's crazy to see that, just to see where we are now, to where it's like they're exact opposite. It's like, y'all send letters? Like, y'all still, like,
emails becoming old. Like, that's becoming old, an old way of communicating and stuff like that. So we're on to the next.
They'll just be like, why are you emailing me? Just text me. And then it just gets on there.
And that's the thing now. Like, instead of people getting confirmation text messages now instead of emails. Like, people are like, I don't got time to be pulling up Gmail, man. If you don't send me a text.
Listen, guys, watch when Elon kick up X. Watch when he kick up X to like full capacity, and that's like the new way jokers communicate just across the board. Forget Gmail, forget all this other stuff. Holla at me on X if that's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. You saw what I think Maryland passed something for X earlier for their payments. I think it was on Watch a Guru, but something got passed today for X. I'll try and pull it up real quick.
Their money transmitter license?
Yeah, it got passed today. I believe that's what it was. Yeah, it says Twitter X receives license for payment services in Maryland.
There you go.
Damn.
So listen, bro, he about to turn up on this app. It's definitely, he about to turn up on his app. It's about to be a whole different ball game. That's the thing. People don't even, it's a game being played, and a lot of people are not participating in the game. Like, they ain't even at the game for real. They don't even know the game going on.
Yeah, just going back to the BRICS thing, they don't even know what G7 is, G20, and all these other entities, and all, like, nobody even knows what that is. Like, they're just
they don't have a clue.
The card.
They don't have. So did y'all see what's going on with Wells Fargo? Y'all saw Wells Fargo closes 37 stores in 16 states. So that's, I mean, we don't need branches no more. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, bro. I don't have a big desire because I'm not one of those people that want to carry around a bunch of cash. I don't go in the bank no more. Like all my bills can get paid online. I don't have no reason to go in there. Checks can be deposited on the app. Like I don't have no reason to go. What am I going in there for? Only time you really need to go in there is if you're trying to get a loan or something. And for real, with my bank, I can do that online too. Like if I need a car loan or something, I don't even have to go in there for that, other than to pick the check up. But sometimes they can electronically send that, or they'll send it straight to the dealership. Like, what's the desire to go into it? Why do we need a bank branch?
So do any of y'all go on the like inside at all? Like you, Rick, like nobody, D, nobody?
Listen, the last time I've been to a bank branch was maybe like several months back, and I was just going there to ask a question. And when I went in there, nobody was there. So, you know, the lady came out and she was like, I'll be with you momentarily. I'm inside, because it was like cubicles. No, there was no teller, no nothing like that. It was cubicles, and she was in there with somebody, and I had to wait out there. I left, but it just got me wondering. I'm like, yo, they don't need us to come here no more, yo.
He's like, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm out.
I can see D doing that too. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
And what, you know, one of the things,
Like, bro, why? I could see D being like, okay, why am I here? Like, and he just walking back to the car, like,
Yeah.
like
no
it's
point.
That was funny. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm out.
one of the things I'll add to that though is that you know, jobs. You know, this is you know, we talk about this all the time. You know, AI, automation, robotics taking over. You know, we don't need, you know, people anymore. You know what I'm saying? They have kiosks. You know what I'm saying? Even when if you do go into the bank, 9 times now there's you talking to the ATM machine, and they got a phone, and you talk to somebody at a call center. And then when you understand that, now you're talking about status or quality of lifestyle for people declining amongst a time when we have inflation, massive inflation, and the price of goods and services are rising. And then you have, you know, their ability to prepare for their financial future later on. So they're not getting, you know, the benefits from the job. They lost their job. There's less jobs. And it's not just going to be Wells Fargo. There's going to be more banks, you know, as the economy continues to decline. You know, there's going to be more of these corporations and institutions. And so the job market and available jobs is shrinking while the need or the demand for people to work and create money is growing. You're going to have this problem is going to persist, and it's going to come to a breaking point. And eventually it's going to ferment and create, you're going to start to see more protests. You're going to see more riots. And these protests and riots more than likely are going to be funded by the same people who've been funding these riots before, the Soroses and the Koch brothers and things of this nature, because they've created a situation. They're going to capitalize off your emotion and then lead you to a solution that they designed for you.
Basically, I mean, jobs are getting ready to be lost. I don't think a lot of people understand that. I think what is the percentage? Is it 55% or 60% of the job market? They're already predicting to be gone by 2035 or 2030.
Yeah, that's not about right. Probably more than that. Probably more than that.
So I'm just that'd be my question to people. Like, what do you think is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we already know over half of the job market is going to be gone within the next 5 to 10 years, then, you know, what are your plans? You know what I'm saying? Like that's, you know, and that's when you start asking people, like, are you investing? Do you have precious metals? Are you know what I'm saying? Do you have a plan? Are you going to start a business? Like,
yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, now you're starting to see why you're seeing all these chicken, you know, farms, you know, with the cows and everything going up in flames, or you're seeing all these issues going on with the supply chain and food here in the United States with these factories and things blowing up, because they already have the data. They already understand the economics, and they understand that this is going to create an environment and a situation, and they understand that how people are going to react. They need access to food. Now, what they don't want you is dependent. They don't want you to be independent. They want you to be dependent upon them in the system. And you can see it even happening right now in Maui, where I just saw recently something to the effect that they had their own little food distribution or co-op. People were donating food. Police came in there and shut that down. They're not allowing people to be able to take care of themselves. They want the government to step in. They want you to rely strictly on them and not be self-sufficient. And that's that.
I'm glad you brought that up, because you saw Wells Fargo, which is the top bank for mortgages, they're getting ready to, they said they want to focus more on their existing customers now. They don't want to focus on mortgages and stuff now because BlackRock is getting ready to buy up all the real estate and they want people rent. They don't want you to have a mortgage. So again, now we depending on them because they done bought up all the real estate. And we need them to live. We need them for food. Like that's what you're saying. Like I get
that come back to Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum. You will own nothing, be happy.
Yep.
See,
that's so true, you know. And back to the point of just economics, like, you know, we're just getting around to the time where a lot of us are starting to learn and understand, you know, what economics is and, you know, how this country was actually built and, you know, how the money system works. We're just coming around to it. And now that we're just coming around to it, it's about to change once again. You know, it's about to shift once again. So
that's how the game go, bro.
So imagine getting up on stocks and, you know, trying to understand the bond system and all that stuff like that. Stuff you were never taught. You were never taught. And now they're going to pull the rug and create a whole new system.
Yeah, there's no way.
You start to figure out how to stand on your own 2 feet and be independent. And then they pull the rug from under you, collapse you, and then try to have you build off of a whole new system that's even harder to build on because you can't own anything.
Yeah, that's UBI talk right there. That's UBI talk.
What's UBI, man? What's UBI? Please enlighten the people.
Yeah, break it down.
I'm glad you asked. So UBI, you guys, is universal basic income. What is universal basic income? It is a paycheck that you will receive forever from the government to where you don't have to work. You don't have to rely on getting a job or innovating or doing anything. You're going to rely solely on the government to pay you X amount of dollars.
The government becomes your daddy.
They become your daddy.
Wait, that don't sound too bad. That don't sound too bad.
That sounds good. What's wrong with that?
That sounds
What's wrong with free money?
That sounds super lazy. That sounds like if I don't do what they say, they can cut my check off whenever they feel like it. So if another crazy event happens like 2020 and because I know my rights, don't want to go do stuff, then if I don't do it and they want me to, then they can cut my check off. Now I can't eat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so this just gives them complete control because what happens is when someone is feeding you, you know what I'm saying? If you do something, if you don't do what they say, they can stop feeding you. That's why you don't want to depend on nobody.
And I can go even deeper. So being that in the Constitution, there's a lot of rights that protect us as citizens, correct? So did you know that when they're talking about Trump being the last president, he really is, only because since he left, America's been bankrupt. Okay.
I think we touched on that. The last episode, the beginning of the last episode.
We did.
So we can kind of pick up right there.
Or episode 10, you know. Yep. But I don't know when this is going to drop. But episode 10, we dropped in the beginning, there was a report, and the lady from the DOD said Biden is the president of a bankrupt America. And that was on the news.
Yep.
It's right at the beginning of the episode. You ain't even gotta do too much. You just gotta click on it and
just
click
on the video.
Yep. Right at the beginning.
On the video. And the thing is, like, Trump was the last president. And if you go down that rabbit hole of Trump, you know, and Barron and all that stuff, go look it up and see that all this was written, you guys. So he was
but just to stay right there for a second, D, can you tell them who that lady was that said it? What's her position? She was who?
Oh, she was I forgot what she did, but she worked for the DOD.
There we go. That's enough.
The Department of Defense.
There we go. That's enough. Go ahead, Maverick. I'm sorry. I just wanted them to know who said it, so they don't think it's a conspiracy, because you know they love that word.
It's definitely not. That's the thing. So where does that put us now? So okay, we're in a bankrupt country, and now we are not a form of a country anymore or a corporation anymore. What can you do with the Constitution? Oh, you could throw it right out. Oh, so now you can implement any kind of rule you want to with the UBI, with any kind of constitutional rights that we had before. You could change those or just wipe them out completely.